All right. You know what? Sort of, you know, as members of the kingdom, and I believe that we are at least in the top 85 when it comes to important voices that talk about the Chiefs. I think we're at least in that range. You know, maybe probably not top 10, maybe not, but we're in the top 80. Like, and so I feel like our voices need to be heard. I don't know
Okay.
exactly where. I don't know. And listen, showing BK, we'll have an episode Friday morning for you. And actually, we've been going live on Thursday nights, so you should come hang out with us, and it'll be good. But I just couldn't wait, right? And I have been listening for the last day and a half. Started with the best post game show for the Chiefs, at least in the top 80 on that. I know that much, and that's you and Rocky, and I was really concerned for you guys, especially Rocky. I know Rocky gets himself good and pissed off in these situations. But started there. I've been listening to a lot of people talk about the Chiefs and some things. And sir, I ain't gonna take your time too long. I just had like three things I just wanted to get off my chest.
Okay.
It's just things that I've been hearing. First things. This talk of the dynasty is dead. It's dead. It's over. It's over. The kingdom is dead. The dynasty is dead. And it's just one of the dumbest things that I can hear. Even if the Chiefs lose, even if the Chiefs don't make the playoffs, have dynasty rules changed all of a sudden? How long was the Patriots dynasty? 20 years?
Yeah.
How many misses did they get?
I mean, they really had two different dynasties.
I'm just saying, how long?
That run there where they weren't like a lock to make the Super Bowl.
They didn't make it to the. They didn't win a Super Bowl for 10 years. Like the Chiefs have been to 5 of the last 6 Super Bowls and won 3 of them. And if they missed, even if they say the worst, they missed the playoffs, the dynasty is over. Like, get out of here. No, it's like the dynasty is over when Patrick Mahomes is done, right? That's when the dynasty ended in New England. When that was over, the Spurs dynasty was like 18 years. They won 5 titles. I know many people and things have changed here in the last several years on how we view sports, and the Chiefs have been at the top of it. Now we hate our dynasty, starting with the Chiefs. But this dynasty, Patrick Mahomes is 30. This thing is still rolling. Because if they win another championship, it's like it ain't a two-parter. It's not a new one. They don't become a different team. Like, that part is silly. Yes, it would be the first time that they've never made it to the AFC Championship game in the last 7 years. But that doesn't mean the dynasty ends. Is that what it has to be for the dynasty to continue? They have to at least make the AFC Championship game. Is that what the rules are? I just remember New England missing the playoffs the year after they won the first Super Bowl. They missed it a couple of times. They lost in the first round to the Ravens one of those years.
I mean, the odds are that the Chiefs would eventually miss the playoffs at some point. Like, it's pretty insane to expect Patrick Mahomes to be in the playoffs every single year that he plays in the NFL. But because of his standard and the standard that he has set as a player, it is expected always that you make it to the playoffs, because he doesn't not only make it to the playoffs, he makes AFC Championship games every year.
Yeah, like I mean, dynasties don't end when the premier part of the dynasty is in its prime. No matter what happens, if you have been established as a dynasty and the best player is in his prime, the dynasty ends when the best player is no longer there. Like, there's not a dynasty. They've been to 7 straight, but they miss one that it's out. That's the silliest thing. So I think we got to calm down a little bit on that. The second thing, and listen, sort of, we've gone back and forth on this. Another thing that I am hearing a lot of is the complaints of the run game. and the Chiefs needing to run the ball more, and that watching that game that the Chiefs should have run the ball more, and that the reason, one major reason that they lost is that they didn't run the football. Citing there's a 3rd and 2, 3rd and 1 where they threw the football, and Kareem Hunt was averaging nearly 5 yards a carry in the first half, and this and that. And listen, we've had conversations. I think there are moments where the Chiefs could run the football more. I think there are moments that the Chiefs, I'd like them to run from under center more. They seem to have success that way. And I agree. Yeah, he had 13 carries. Mahomes threw the ball 45 times. But when I watched that game, to me, this is starting to feel like, Steve, whenever the Chiefs lose, we're going to pinpoint that. Because when they win big games, it's the same way. When they beat the Lions, they were throwing the fucking football. When they beat the Ravens, they were throwing the football, right? That's what they do. Yes, I am never, ever, Steve, going to be upset with Andy Reid saying, yeah, I want to put the ball in the hands of the best player in the world that I believe is Patrick Mahomes, as opposed to Kareem Hunt, that many of you all are back and forth on, should he get as many touches as he get? Like Isaiah Pacheco is out the last 2 games as well. I think that plays a role in it. But no, it's not like they're not running the football. It didn't work. Like, if you go back and look at those plays that some people are complaining about, yes, I do. Like, I think Kareem could have gotten more touches, and there could have been more rushes. I'm not one sit here, Serda, and say that Kareem should have got 7 more carries in the game. I don't believe Kareem Hunt needed to get 7 touches, or I needed to get 20 carries in the game. I didn't feel that way. I can cite some of the plays, the 3rd and 2 late, that many people have a problem with. Now, I can get with the thought that Kareem could at least be on the field, but the 3rd and 2 late that many people have a problem with, Rashad Smith was open all the way through. Mahomes just hesitated and then turned it into a back shoulder throw. Not to mention they had shitting in his pants Riley Moss one-on-one on the other side of the field with Xavier Worthy. Any kind of a hard run up the field, Riley is bailing, and he is going to create separate. There were many options to get this 3rd and 2. Hell, I watched Denver. They threw on 3rd and 2. They like to run the football. That stuff just didn't work. Even on the 3rd and 1, where I was annoyed at the end of the half. So Rashee Rice is sitting right there in front of him for the first down. He comes out of the backfield. He's one-on-one with the linebacker. He's sitting right there. Now, I don't know. In Sunday's game, Rashee may not have caught it the way he was playing. But, I mean, they were there. I have it hard to believe, like, hey, man, it's not like they handed it off to somebody great. Jamal Charles ain't back there not getting touches. Yeah. And it ain't Alex Smith who's throwing it 45 times. I just think people are doing this because it didn't work. Because nobody would be saying shit about running the football if Patrick Mahomes and the receivers and they were able to execute on a lot of the plays that they screwed up on.
Well, and the running back room is just frustrating in general, because now I kind of wish that report never would have come out about the Chiefs supposedly offering a 4th-round pick for Breece Hall, and they wanted a 3rd, and the Chiefs wouldn't do it now, because now that's going to be every time anybody gets frustrated with the running game the rest of the season, they're going to bring that up. And I think that trade, while it would have been fun for the Chiefs, and I do think it would be awesome if they actually gave Mahomes a talented young running back, like the other teams would have to pay some respect to. I think it's bad business to trade draft capital for a player like Breece Hall that is going to be looking for a new contract that the Chiefs aren't going to want to pay out anyways, because it's a running back deal. And they've got other contracts coming up that they want to get done. So I wasn't in favor of necessarily trading for anybody ever, but I've been wanting them to draft a running back for years because their running back room has been awful for a long time. And Pacheco's been a serviceable player, but he's hurt again. Kareem Hunt is what he is. He's this short yardage, efficient running back with no explosiveness whatsoever anymore. And the running game is just so generic and boring. But I agree
But
that's
it's
not how they
serviceable. Yeah,
that's not how they win football games. Like
and it's not how
offensively,
they
they
ever
just
have won them.
simply
It's not
yeah,
how they ever have won them, sir.
but offensively, they just simply have to be better. They haven't been good enough. Their best performances have been against bad defenses, and when they go up against good defenses, they've really struggled on the offensive side of the ball, even though all the metrics still say, oh, this is like a top 5 offense in the NFL, because we've seen how explosive they can be. And we've seen that when it's all working out, they can figure all that stuff out, but they aren't figuring anything out right now. They don't
Let
have
me
the answers that they need right
let
now.
me ask you this, Serda. Coming into the game, we know Isaiah Pacheco's out, right? And we know Elijah Mitchell is now dressed. I don't know if he can run. They didn't give him an opportunity. But coming into the game, you know you're facing Denver, but we know what this team is and we know where the weapons are and how this team goes. How many carries would you have said the running back should have gotten coming into the game? Like in your mind, if you would have said, all right, running back carries, handoffs, like planned handoffs, how many would you have had in your mind?
I'm fine with like 10 to 15 a game where you pass the ball the majority of the time, because I don't think them running the football 25 times a game is how they're going to win either.
Yeah. So Kareem had 14 carries for 59 yards, and it's a good compliment to what they want to do. Their passing game stunk in many occasions, and it stunk. You know what? Stunk's not even a good word to use. They just didn't execute. They had plenty of opportunities in the passing game. That game went exactly how they wanted it to go. They just did not execute on plays that were just flat there multiple times, and the run game would have been the perfect complement to it. All right. And that's my thing. And if they had Brees Hall, and I hope they do, and I think they will draft a better running back. But if they had Brees Hall's not getting 25 carries, and you wouldn't want him to. You wouldn't want the ball to be taken out of the hands of Mahomes and Rice and Worthy and Kelsey and Brown. That is like that's the weapons. You don't want Brees to get some catches out of the backfield, but that's not what you want.
All I want from the running back room is like what the Patriots have seemingly gotten in Travion Henderson. Draft a young guy who's legitimately explosive and you can give 10 to 15 touches a game to, and occasionally he can rip off a 40, 50-yard run. Like, that's all I want from the running back room is a young, explosive guy who doesn't need that many touches, but's got enough explosiveness to be really, really efficient and rip off a chunk gain every now and then.
And I think a healthy Pacheco, it might have been a little bit more, right? But no, I just think that is what we're doing. This team has won year after year after year, and if you still think that Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback, or at least one of the best quarterbacks in football, then you understand why this is the way they go. All right. Like they're just, I mean, this is how they do things. All right. My last thing is I said I got 3 things. The dynasty talk is a little just aggressive to me. It's not, it can't be over in one space. The running game situation is one thing. And then the other thing for me, Serta, and I think this is the big one. I have listened to a lot of people kind of go in and talk about like how they've arrived here, why the Chiefs are 5-5, why the Chiefs have all of a sudden gone 0-5 in these close, tight games when they were 12-0 last year, and how are we here, and how are they losing these games, and how are they doing this? I've heard a lot of things, right? I think overall they're just not making plays on either side of the ball, but I've heard a lot of things, and I want you to hear the word specifically, right? I think there's a lot of things people have named, Serta, as reasons why it has happened. I have heard they're not disciplined. I agree. They're not disciplined. They got another 10 penalties in this game, and they've got They had 13 against Jacksonville, right? They're doing a lot of things. They're turning the ball over. They're not disciplined. You know what, Steve? Chiefs have always been that great in discipline. They have brain farts at times over the years. I've heard things have gone stale with the play calling. Maybe, I don't know. I saw a lot of plays that were there to be had in the game. Right. I saw a lot of plays that were there to be had. I've heard they're tired and they've played all these games. Okay, maybe. I think, and I'm not poo-pooing any of them. I think they all, I guess I kind of did poo-poo them, but I think they all may have a factor in this. All of it. When you go 0-5 and you constantly lose games a similar fashion, I think it's a lot of things. But to me, sort of the biggest difference in why the Chiefs aren't winning these games, sort of, the biggest difference, it's not solely the biggest fault, but the biggest difference in why they are 0-5 and to why it seemed like they were winning at a 75-80% clip over the past 5-6 years, sort of, when anything was tight. The biggest reason is Patrick Mahomes. The biggest difference is his play. Patrick Mahomes is now playing, to me, more like one of the best quarterbacks in the league and not the unquestioned best that you know what you're getting and who focus and takes his game up to the next level when everything's on the line. Steve, I mean, we could look at it throughout the game. He's got the awful interception against Jacksonville that spun that game. He's got the awful interception on Sunday. He got bailed out on whatever the hell that was on the sideline that should have been a pick six if it wasn't for Riley. Like, he's there. You can see, I'm sure people on Twitter see a lot of film, sort of. There's a lot of routes, not the ones that we just saw. Like, he's got to hit Worthy or Thornton on the first drive. He's got to. Like, one of them. Okay, you got, like, and not just hit him, Steve. He's got to at least give him a chance to touch the ball, to create a pass interference. Hell, he threw one short to Hollywood, and it caused Riley to tackle him, and at least got a pass interference. He missed on a drive starter I'm seeing around, the one where he threw behind Kelce. It almost got picked off. He missed Hollywood on an easy 15-yard route that would have been right there. He is just not playing to the level that we are accustomed to him playing. And he's not sucking or stinking. It's not all his fault. But sort of, there are times the Chiefs have at some point in second halves given Mahomes the ball and the offense the ball to where they could take the lead or put the game away or change it. And it's not that he's not even doing it. They're not even getting first downs. Right? I mean, every one of these games they lost. We can point to them. Like, damn, the defense is not as good as it has been the last couple of years, sort of, but they have gotten stops to hand the ball back to Mahomes in these games, and he hadn't put them away. Like Buffalo, even the Buffalo game, they got stops in that third quarter, in that second half. Buffalo scored one time in the second half. And they gave them the ball right back after they got the score 28-21. Throws a pick. The Chiefs defense, they go up 19-16 after another blunder by the special teams. They go up 19-16. They get the ball. Man, they got the ball for 1 minute and 53 seconds. No first downs. Chiefs defense. All right, we've seen this before. Don't give up the touchdown, but they tie it. All right, you got the ball. 4 minutes left, Jack. 3 plays. Under 2 minutes. Like, that to me is the biggest difference. He was the greatest fixer. Again, I want you to hear this. I'm not saying he's the biggest person at fault, but the biggest difference is he's not fixing things or coming up with the plays that he normally comes up with. at all. And that is the biggest thing. Like that game should not have ever been as tight as it was. Like their touchdowns missed, their big plays missed, and not just him. Rashid Rice dropped balls and dropped the ball, and Taylor or Jawan Taylor screwed up a 1st and goal at the 3 because he wasn't lined up. But those things have happened. Like I just think, to me, Mahomes is the difference. He is playing, to me, like one of the best quarterbacks in the league, as opposed to the best in the league.
Yeah. I think I talked about it on the post-game show. Like, he was bad. Like, he was straight up bad against the Broncos. And I know now, we're a couple days removed from it, so everybody's like breaking down the film, and everybody keeps clipping that throw from like the second play of the game where he just misses Worthy. And I thought this game too, because I've been critical of Worthy. Like, Worthy hasn't looked quite as explosive, and I know he's had this like nagging ankle issue and the shoulder and all of that stuff. This is the first game in weeks where I felt like Worthy looked like legitimately explosive and was like winning a little bit downfield. And then Mahomes is just missing him. It just feels like they could be utilizing Xavier Worthy a little bit more, but Mahomes just hasn't been good. And I don't know, like, it's not as if the protection has been anything close to what it was last season. It's not like the protection has totally failed since Josh Simmons wasn't in the building.
They protect it well enough Sunday for them to
100%.
get what they need to get.
The Broncos are going to get after you, and they're going to get pressure. They're the best defensive line in the NFL. But it's not like the Broncos defensive line totally wrecked the Chiefs game plan. Like, the protection was good enough for the plays to be there. Mahomes just did not make them. He is not playing well enough right now. He's not playing up to his standard, and he'll keep saying that, but I don't know what the disconnect is anymore, because now it is getting to the point where, like Chris Jones said that Bo Nix like called out the Chiefs defensive formation, what they were going to do final play of the game. There's been some of that on the offensive side of the ball where it feels like the run pass option plays and stuff like that. Like, a lot of times Mahomes is changing those to passes, which I like that stuff. I want the Chiefs to do that stuff. I think that's a good operation to run in the modern day NFL, but it's becoming stagnant in the way that it's like he's looking for Kelce, he's looking for Rice, and he's not always looking to spread the ball around the way that he has in the past. And lots of times I feel like he's in his head about getting rid of it, and he's forcing things. Like, he's just simply not playing well enough right now for the Chiefs to get where they need to go, especially when you're playing the best competition in the league.
And that's my thing is, it's not like overall that he's thinking, because he's still making play. Because the throw to Thornton that he hit was a throw where he's staying in there and he's getting hit, and it was a big time throw. The throw that Rashid dropped at the end of the half on the sideline. I mean, he's in the game. I mean, he's still 270 something and a touchdown and made some plays. But like it's just in certain moments of the game he's just not making, or it's not even just making the throws. He's also not reading and going where, as you talked about, where the ball should go. Like, everybody is killing that 3rd and 2 call. Rashad Smith I don't even know if he should have been looking that way, but when you look at it, I mean, that play is open, and that could be a big play. It's definitely going for a first down. And if he beats 31's the only one he's got to beat. There is nobody else over there. Right? I mean, there's nobody else over there, but he's just missing things. Like, there Hollywood Brown on a crosser one time would have had the entire side of the field. Everyone was flowing that way, and he didn't even look at him. So yeah, like you said, Worthy. Like, there are plays, and some of it, and I don't know that. Like, people look at it play calling. I also think he has the decision of where to go. And I think a part that you mentioned of him still maybe having some PTSD with, all right, I got to get rid of it, and the pressure is failing. I'm not hanging in there. He's bailing out of the pocket to move when all he has to do is step up at times, and there's another tick to play. The thing is, though, is he is Patrick Mahomes, and we believe he can figure this out. And with all that, I mean, I think like we saw him. If he just throws that throw that he threw to Thornton to Worthy, like it's gonna be caught or interfered with. So I don't know, man. He's just that to me is just the biggest difference is he's not making the plays that we're used to making.